succeed. And that is why we are putting this thing together, because I know that many of us can go online and get this information. Many of us can get this information wherever, however we want to get it. But what we want to provide is an opportunity to rub minds, to help us to develop this attitude, to build this mentality, and to keep it going, because our environment matters a lot in whatever we are going to become, we are going to achieve. God helping us. Even the Bible says that God bless the works of our hands, not the prayers of our mouth, so that we will have the right energy. And as I want to introduce our presenter today, Emeka, I just want to just briefly talk about our presenter, Emeka. One thing that I believe that stood him out, yes, Emeka is a first-class graduate of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, but I know he is not the only first-class graduate from that institution or around the schools in Nigeria. But one thing that I discovered is the energy, the mentality that he had along this path. I remember in those days when I go out to look for opportunities, scholarship opportunities for people that I'm trying to help. Each time I enter any group, be it on Facebook, anywhere, I will discover that it's already there, looking out for information, doing whatever he can, doing whatever he can. Please, I want to watch the TV. No, I want to watch the TV. Well, please, can we mute ourselves? Let's go. Please. So that is one thing that is peculiar with him, and that is the kind of energy that will help anyone to excel. It doesn't matter if you have failed once, twice, how many times. The belief you have is what determines whether you will succeed or not. If you believe that I cannot do this or that I am limited, believe you me, you cannot. But if you believe that in spite of the failures that you have seen around you, that this thing is possible, bet you it will be possible. It doesn't matter how many times you put in the attempt. What matters is that all those attempts will count as a learning process, because after each attempt, there must be new things that you must have learned. So I want to encourage you to prepare your heart, to prepare your mind that this thing is possible. As I quickly introduce Emeka Kejuba to take us on the journey of a DAAD scholarship and bringing Erasmus into it, so that we will understand how we can go about this application, what we can learn about this application. And we prepare your questions, anything that you feel like asking about scholarship, or whether DAAD or any other scholarship. I want you to just get them ready. We will open the question section after his presentation, but we want to make it as snappy as possible so that we will give you back your time. Thank you very much. Emeka, can you take the screen?
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Doctor. You've said it all. Yeah, it's a privilege to be here and to speak with us. So I don't know if everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so can you allow me share my screen?
Definitely. It's okay. Sorry, I'm coming.
Okay.
Can you try now?
All right. Okay, so tell me when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. So today we'll be looking at two main scholarships that are attainable in European countries. The first one is the DAAD, and later I'll talk about Erasmus Mundus. So the DAAD is just the German name, Deutscher Akademischer Ausdienst, or it's just a German name for German scholarship. So we have many types of DAAD scholarships. This scholarship is up to 100 and more. But each of these scholarships have their eligibility and the people that they are targeted at. So the one that is very, very eligible, like very open to people from developing countries such as Nigeria, is the one we call the DAAD EPOS. It's also known as the DAAD scholarship for developing countries or for foreign applicants. Okay, so before we move into looking at DAAD, as I've said earlier, DAAD is a scholarship that is attainable in Germany. This one I'm talking about because we also have some other types of DAAD scholarship. We also have the one that you can find in African countries. But the DAAD EPOS is mainly for Germany. When you get a scholarship, you come to Germany and that is where you carry out your studies and everything. So why Germany? Let's look at some reasons why you should study in Germany. Although this information can be seen online, but I just have to lift some. So Germany is a safe country. The security here is very high. You don't have fear of theft or something like that. Also in public universities, there is a free tuition. And most of the scholarships that have been awarded under the DAAD is in these public universities. So you don't pay any tuition fee. Also, when it comes to their politics and economy, it is very stable. That's why it is said that Germany is the strongest economy in Europe. Also, in Germany, you have the opportunity to carry out what we call the practice-oriented studies. It's not that you only go to school, but also do a lot of practicals and internships. So you have the possibility of working while you study. The type of visa you've been given as a student in Germany will allow you to work, unlike some places where student visa will not allow you to work. You just have to go to school. But here you can work with your student visa. You can also study to support yourself. We say that Germany visa, student visa is a powerful student visa in the sense that it's not only that you can work with it, you can also travel around. There's what we call the Schengen states. These are the countries under the EU. We have about 26 Schengen states, like Spain, Italy, Netherlands, Switzerland, and so on. So with your student visa, you can travel to these countries without visa, if you're someone that likes to travel. Also, Germany has a link to the rest of Europe. So it's just like it's a middle country, you can have proximity to other parts of the countries. I've said that before. And the German certificate is well recognized internationally, so you can get work anywhere you feel like. So let's look at it, that EPOS scholarship proper. Now, this DAAD EPOS scholarship offers individual scholarship to participants from developing countries so that they can study development-related postgraduate courses at selected universities in Germany. As I've said earlier, it's a scholarship for people from developing countries, of which Nigeria is inclusive. So the link here, of which our doctor will post it in the comment section. So this link is where you will find the further information about the scholarship, the programs, the deadlines. So in this link, you find the various programs that have been funded, the deadline and everything. So this will be posted in the comment section. So I want to talk a little bit about the requirements and everything. So what are the benefits? When you win this scholarship, the benefits include a monthly stipend. You are also given a travel allowance that will cover your traveling from Nigeria to Germany. You also have your health, accident, and civil liability insurance. They also give you this one-time study allowance. And in some cases, you also receive what we call the monthly rent subsidy. Now, in situation whereby your university happens to collect some tuition fee, because in Germany here, private universities pay tuition. So if you happen that your program is in a private university then DAD will provide some money in contribution to the tuition fee. Also, you have opportunity to carry out a language course which will be funded. During my own time, the language course was in Nigeria, and we did it online, and we are also paid. But this said that just came now, they will be having their language course in Germany because the corona pandemic has reduced. So DAD will fund their accommodation, their traveling, and also pay them some allowance for learning the language for 2 months. And also, if your program involves internship, DAD will also fund your internship to any place you are going to work. So the requirements for this scholarship, and this requirement I can say is a general requirement for most scholarships. So, but for this that APOS, one of the requirements there is that you must have at least 2 years post-study relevant work experience. Now, if you look at this slide, I bolded this, at least 2 years post-study and relevant. So what this thing simply means is that this scholarship is not for people that just finished from the university. It is expected that you have finished, and at least it's 2 years after you finished, because the work experience is required that you get it after you've graduated, not when you are still in school. And also it should be relevant in the sense that it should be related to what you are studying. Take for instance, I cannot be studying chemistry and I will bring in a work experience where I taught Igbo language in the school or where I did some mechanic work. It doesn't tally. So it should be in line with the program you're applying for. And this work experience can be accumulated. You can have up to 10 experiences. Maybe after my studies, I worked in a firm for 2 months. I left the firm. I worked in the other one for 3 months. I left. I worked the other one for 4 months. It may be as many as. So all what DAD wants to see is that the accumulation of those experiences is up to 2 years. So it doesn't mean that you will be in one office for 2 years or thereabouts. So another one is that the person should have obtained a university degree with well above average results. Upper third year means second class lower. So someone with second class lower, that is 2-2 can apply. Also, your university degree must not be older than 6 years. It mustn't be older than 6 years. Like, yeah, the time of your graduation should not be above 6 years. So there is an English proficiency certification, and this is a letter showing that you are taught in English language. So some schools will require you to provide a standardized English test, such as the TOEFL or IELTS, while some school will ask you to send some kind of English proficiency certificates, especially for Nigerians if your undergraduate was taught in English language. So it's always good to ask from the school and follow up with anything that is being found in their website. You also have your motivation letter, which is a letter where you declare your interest that you want to apply for this program, your reasons why you want to apply, and what the programs will offer you. You also talk a little bit about what you've done in the past, your interests, and so on. I think during this question time, we're going to look into all these things more. So you also need your transcript, of course. You also need your BSc certificate or your statement of results. You also need a kind of CV format known as the Europass CV format. This Europass CV format is general for European countries, even for Erasmus Mundus. So I always recommend the use of the Word format, the one that looks like your normal MS Word, because it is easy to edit. Because we have 2 types of this Europass CV. We have the one that you fill online, and you have the one that you can download as MS Word, and you can edit to your laptop. So that one we fill online, sometimes it's a little bit hard because you cannot adjust some things. And since there is no discrimination between these 2 types of CV format, I always recommend the use of the Word format. So you can download it from this link here. I think, Doctor, you can share this link to the group chat, to the comment section also. So you can download it here, and you just need to edit, put your pictures and everything. So you also need a recommendation letter. This recommendation letter should come from your lecturer in the university, and one should come from your employer where you worked. So the recommendation letter is just someone saying that they find you fit for this position because of so things. So they should be able to write things about you that will convince the panelists to choose you. And one important thing about this scholarship is that women and applicants from disadvantaged groups such as the disabled are encouraged to apply. So there's high preference for women and also people with disadvantage. So in this slide, you can see just how the Europa CV looks like. So it carries this logo called the Europass. Then you see how this person arranged the names and everything, then the work experience and so on. I got this online, so if you just click on your Google and type sample of Europass CV, Word format, I think you should see some images, and you can arrange your CV in any form. So let's look at the medium of application. So the medium of application of that APO scholarship depends on the program or the university you're applying to, because each university have their requirements and how to apply. Basically, there are courses in the field of economics, development-related sciences, engineering, mathematics, architecture, urban development, agricultural sciences, environmental sciences, health-related sciences, and so on. So, but majorly, there are two ways of submitting your application. When you've gone into the program's website, I always advise you read very well, like pay attention to details, read about the description of the program and how to apply. Everything is found in the website. So over the years, there are two main ways of submission. It's either you submit by email or you submit by post. Now, the way you need to submit will be made known to you in the website. So if you are meant to submit by email, the program will write the email address you are meant to send your documents and how we are going to arrange your documents. So the way this program arrange or demand you to submit your application may be different from the other program. So it's always important to read carefully the instruction from each program you're applying for. And also for this program, you can apply to up to 3 programs at a go. But each of these programs, you need to specify, like, you need to follow their instruction on how to apply. It's possible that like in my university, my program, I applied through email, I sent my document through email, but in another program in that same university, the applicants sent the application through post. So it's always important to read the descriptions and how to apply section. So for the selection process, after your doctor, can you meet some persons? The selection process, after your application has been submitted, then it takes from 3 to 4 months. Now, people that made it will be contacted for interview, and after the interview, the next stage will be the nomination. The nomination is done by the universities. So everything that has to do with this scholarship is mainly based on the university. When you submit your document, your application to the university, we'll go through it and shortlist that they're eligible for the interview. And after the interview, the university will now send the names of the people who want the scholarship to be awarded to. This is what we call the nomination stage. So the program will now send their names to DAAD, and after some confirmation, DAAD will award the scholarship to them. So that was all about the APOS. So the second part of this presentation is the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. Erasmus Mundus and that DAD have some things in common in the sense that these scholarships are attainable in European countries. Just that there are a little bit disparity or difference. So Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters are offered by multiple higher education institutions and they run across various countries. So they are distinguished by the academic excellence and by their high level of integration. Students at master level from all over the world can enroll. So this scholarship, in this Erasmus scholarship, you have the opportunity of studying in more than 2 countries or universities. For DAD, you only study in one university. That is where you do everything, you graduate. But Erasmus Mundus, you can study in 2 countries or 3 countries, sometimes even 4. So what happens here is you spend a minimum amount of time in each of these universities, maybe 6 months in this one, the next one 6 months, the next one 6 months, then you conclude in the last university. So this one thing that is unique about Erasmus Mundus. And also, it doesn't have any special requirements for graduation time. Like people that are in their final year can even apply, not even only for graduates. If you're in your final year in the university, you can even use your transcript, which is not official transcript, the one from your department, you can use it to apply. People have done that and they've gotten the scholarship. So anybody can apply. People with masters can apply for this Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So also the application timeline depends on the consortium. The consortia are just the universities that are involved. Maybe some program will have like 3 universities. So those universities are called the consortia, and each of them is a consortium. So the application is well submitted between October and January, but it's always important to go through the websites of the program in question and see the actual application timeline and every information on how to apply. So that is why I said that students should contact the relevant consortium directly for information on how to apply. Also, this is the link to the Erasmus Mundus catalog. In this catalog, you will see the list of programs. One unique thing about Erasmus Mundus is that the way they name their program is different from the normal name you might know. Take, for instance, MSc Biochemistry. You cannot find something like MSc Biochemistry under Erasmus Mundus program. So they have this unique way of naming their courses. Have something like Sophonama, have something like plant health and all that. So they have some kind of weird names. But for you to know if this program is for you, can you mute some persons? So
Please, if I mute you, please don't unmute yourself, please. Please, when it's time to ask questions, you can unmute yourself, please. You can go on and make it.
Okay, so as I was saying, the namings of the Erasmus Mundus programs can be confusing because you can be seeing some names like Sophonama, Mascom, and all that. You think that your program is not there. So how you will know that a particular program is a perfect fit for you is to go to the program and read about the program description, what the program is all about. Because they will explain everything there. They'll tell you what the program is offering, the kind of candidate they want, the kind of graduate they want, and all that. So from what you've read, you know that, okay, you check yourself, you know what you did, you know your interests and everything. You know that this program is for you. Then you can proceed with your application. So this is the link for the various programs and also leading to the application site. So in addition to the requirements we've seen before under that APOS, because I said that these two scholarships are just common and they have same requirements. So in addition, as I've said earlier, fresh and old candidates can apply for Erasmus Mundus. And Erasmus Mundus does not mandate you to submit a proof of 2 years work experience in contrast to DAD. So, but having work experience is advantageous. It's important because the more things you have in your profile, the higher your chances. Yeah, I forgot to say that the maximum number of people that DAD can take can be, so far I've seen, is maximum of 10 persons all over the world. They don't give quota to a particular country. But Erasmus Mundus, they give quota to some countries. Like in Nigeria, I think the maximum number of persons like 3 or 4, and so on. So it's been shared based on regions. So, but DAD considers the whole applicants, the whole countries. And one person may come from a country, or they may even have a country where they don't have any candidate. So Erasmus does not mandate you to submit 2 years work experience. That is why someone that is still in school in final year can apply for this scholarship and win it. Also, as I've said earlier, relevant work experience is important. Having some skills related to what you want to study, especially those that are in the biological sciences and agricultural sciences, there is a need for some data analytical skills such as SPSS, R programming. If you can just take some few online courses on this, you may not even know it very well, but on a scale of 5, like 1/5 or 2/5, you can write this on your CV and it's a boost. Also, publications is also another boosting factor. Some of us, we have our bachelor's thesis. We can write up a manuscript from this and publish it, even in the local journals, if not international. You can also publish in local journal, Nigerian journals. These are some points that can boost selection. Relevant mock courses. Mock simply means a massive open online courses. So these are those online courses from Coursera. I think we have Coursera, we have Social Learning, we have all these online platforms where you can take some courses related to what you want to study. So I remember when I wanted to apply for my DAD program, I took a course that was taught by my university, this university I'm studying with now. I took a course on Coursera that they taught. So I also included that in my CV. So all these things can increase one's chances. So for the selection process of Erasmus Mundus, you submit your application. After some time, then you might face interview. And this interview is by some programs, not all the programs. So some programs don't do interview, they just release the final awardees at the end. But some will organize an interview section. So after this, then the results of the award comes out. So the result usually comes out from February downwards. Like currently now, I think there are some results from Erasmus Mundus. So this is all I have for now based on the presentation from my slide. So our questions will now lead me into further explanation if need be it. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Thank you so much, Emeka, for the detailed presentation. It's very, very simple and straightforward. I want us to ask questions. If you have questions, you can raise your hand or however you want to indicate so that we will take your question or whatever you want to say or react. It's open now. Now, I just, as people are preparing to ask their questions, do you have idea of their PhD program, the DAD? Is there anything you can say about their PhD program?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That APOs also fund DAD programs. But the thing here is that there are more scholarship for masters than PhD. So, and the PhD programs can also be found in this link I shared. So when you go to the link, you will see some programs that have PhD, and read about how to apply. Just the same process, same requirements. But for PhD, you must have your masters. You cannot apply from PhD to PhD. You must have your masters. So that is for PhD. And another thing about the PhD is that if you are being awarded a DAD scholarship on the master level, you cannot apply for the PhD immediately. You have to stay after 2 years, just like I am now. When I graduate from a DAD alumni, I cannot apply for the PhD immediately if I want DAD to sponsor my PhD. So I have to stay for 2 years before I will be eligible to apply. But we have PhD which are limited. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. And generally, we have more funding, general fundings for masters all over the world than PhD. Most times PhD funding has to come from the professors and a few programs. And like he said, in Europe, you must have masters before you apply for PhD. But in North America, you can apply for PhD with your BSc, direct PhD. It does happen. So it is something that is very, very possible, and we can try that. So thank you for the information, and every information is provided in on the website. You can go try that. Do we have people with questions so that we can explore all the options and all the information that Emeka had? Who are the people with questions?
Yes. Yes, I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. In the requirements. Hello?
Yes,
in the requirements, he said university degrees must not be more than 6 years. And I graduated in 2015. I don't know if I'm eligible to apply going by what the requirement says. So I just want to find out, because I think 2015 till now is above 6 years. Are they really serious about it, or can it be a reason why your application will not be handled successfully?
Okay. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I think from 2015 till now is like 7 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you can apply. There is this saying that there is no harm in trying, since it doesn't take anything away from you. So some of these requirements, it's not like they are so strict, but they are just there to be followed. Now, if assuming your certificate is very, very far, like 12 years or so, I will advise that is so obvious. But within 6 and 7, I think, yeah, you can give it a try. Because why I'm saying this is that for my program, they made this requirement that I must submit TOEFL. When I asked them if I studied in English language, if I can submit this thing, they said no, that I must submit TOEFL. So I went ahead and applied with my English language proficiency from my university. And I got it. So assuming I just we said that due to the fact that they responded that this, I will not apply. I don't know what will have happened. So it's one thing must happen. It's either they accept you or they reject you. So think, yeah, you can do that.
So I think that Emeka answered it very, very well. You have nothing to lose by attempting. They can either say yes or no. And in the process, you are getting yourself familiar with the process. So the one thing is that we must not be afraid of failure, because you cannot get a yes if you don't try. Now, like example he gave, my wife, their program, they say they required English certification or whatever. She made a case and they waived it for her, but there was somebody in her department, the same school, the same department, they graduated together. They denied the person because of that same English whatever. So it depends on how you make your case. It depends on how you persist in making your case. So that is why I started with our attitude and mentality. So sometimes it may look as if they are strict, but to some extent, these things are flexible depending on how you made your case. So I believe that you can try. Anybody can try. It won't take you, so long as you are not paying application, you can give it a try. Even if you are paying, there are some investment that worth attempting. Thank you for your question. Do we have, okay, Onyeka, you can come on and ask your question.
No?
Hello?
Can I contribute to what Emeka said?
All right.
The guy that asked question about that said that he graduated 7 years ago, thereabout. Then what have you been doing since then? Because most of this committee, what they look for is maybe now you graduated 6 years ago, for example, and you'll be working in a bank, maybe you study statistics or marketing or something like that, and you'll be working in a bank for the past 4 to 5 years. So when they look at your certificate and you graduated 6 years ago, they'll be like, oh, since you graduated, he has been working. So they'll be like, you've gathered a lot of experience related to what you want to go and study. So I think that will also be an advantage. If you graduated and you'll be working somewhere related to what you studied in school. You know, that thing like taking some courses, because so many schools, they check those. Even if you graduated a long time ago, they will be like, what have you been doing? Have you been working? Because if you have been working, that means you've gathered a lot of experience. So they will know that you are an asset to their school or institution. So if you have been working or if you have been doing something related to what you studied, that would be good. Add them to your CV. Put them in your SOP. I think that would be a huge plus for you.
All right. I'm still yet to speak. I'm still yet to ask my question.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I just replied the guy that.
Yeah, he was just commenting on this guy.
Yeah,
it is
sorry
so
for
down to your making your case. It's you that will make your case. Even your workplace, if you package it well, it's like selling yourself. So ask your question.
Exactly. Sorry for cutting you off, bro.
It's okay, Sim. So Onyeka, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
I want to ask, for the DAAD, do you need to submit your application differently as applying to the school separately? Do you have to apply to the school separately, or is just a one-time application together? That's what I want to know.
Okay. Yeah, it's a one-time application. Just as I've said, when you go to the website, everything is clearly detailed. So this is what you do. The university will tell you the documents they need. They will also go ahead to even tell you the things they want you to include in your motivation letter for them. I'm talking from experience from my own university. So the only part that DAD plays in all these things is just that you have a form, which we call the DAD form. It's a green form. In that form, you just have to fill the name of the university you're applying to, the course, some few things, just like a form. Then you attach it together with other documents requested by the university and you submit. So you don't do any separate application for the university, then for DAD itself. So both are done simultaneously.
Thank you very much.
Who else is raising their hands?
Kene.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right. Good evening from here. Thank you very much for the presentation. I have a question. I studied engineering, and part of my experiences is teaching sciences in a school. I don't know if it's a relevant professional experience that I can use to add so as to apply for DAD.
Okay, yes, teaching, depending on what you are teaching. You studied engineering, I know that you should teach something like physics, further maths, and so on. Okay, it's a professional experience. Now, I know all these things depends on how you package yourself. It's very important. Like me, I only had two experience. One was the one I had from my supervisor. I was helping him out with projects, and when it comes to proofreading thesis of his students and all that. So when it came for me to apply, there is a way we packaged it. And the second experience I used was that of my NYSC, the 1 year NYSC experience, where I worked in the department related to what I was doing. And I also taught. I taught biology and also took students on practicals. So it depends, like in your program or whatever you're teaching in the school, you should maybe have some practical sections or, So what I'm trying to say in essence is that the teaching as an engineering student, if you're teaching a core engineering or subject like physics, mathematics, and so on, it's an experience. Now, I would like you to organize it in a more enticing way. Maybe you led the students on some experiments. Are you getting me? So you led the students on some experiments. There are some things you did in the lab, not just like you are just teaching, speak science. So in that letter, in that certificate, because this certificate, look at how it just looks like. The certificate will prove that you worked from so time to so time. And the certificate will also tell them what you did during your time. You did this, you did that, you did this, and they conclude. So you worked from so time to so time as a teacher or a tutor or a lecturer in so school. You taught physics, and during your time, you carry out an experiment on fluid mechanism with so students, and you people discovered, it's a very rich something, and that's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
So I hope you got that, Kene. It's all about packaging what you did. It can fit in. You can ask questions later. It can help. Any one of us can help to put that together. I think teaching is a good experience to be used. So who are the other persons that?
Thanks.
Question, do we have more questions for Emeka?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah. Ibo, go ahead. Lekon, are you there? Hello. Hello. Please, do we have any more questions? Probably struggling with network.
Olalekan Ifebunando, Agent Emmanuel. Victor Tobenna.
Please, if you are ready, just ask. Don't wait for you to be called. Once you
Hello?
wake up. Hello?
Yeah. Some people may have this question depending on the school, sure. But do you need to contact a supervisor before application?
No.
Like regarding to the school, the DAAD scholar.
No, you don't need that.
But for PhD and master, you don't need to contact anyone.
No, once you're applying for DAD, you don't need to contact any supervisor. Once you are being given the admission, then you'll be assigned a supervisor. For masters, even also for PhD. But the thing why PhD own is dicey a little bit is that you having some kind of alignment with the supervisor will improve your chances. So, like now, if I'm applying for a PhD program and I know a supervisor in the department, he or she will increase my chances of being selected. But in a normal day, it's not a requirement that you must provide a letter from a supervisor before you can know. It's not a requirement. But for masters, not at all. You don't need it at all. For PhD, you might need it to increase your chances, but it is not a requirement. I don't know if this is clear.
Yeah, so there is a place where you can get list of supervisors in that particular school.
Once you just go to the school website, go to under their staff, you can see professors, you read their interest, you can see what they are working on. If it interests you, you write to the person.
Oh, it's okay.
So Ifebo, Emmanuel, Victor, the two Victors, any one of you, Marvelous, any one of you ready can ask his or her question.
Good evening from Nigeria. This is Ife Bernardo speaking.
Okay.
Please, I want to know if you're applying for the scholarship as you all have explained. Do you need to have a kind of a research proposal as you are making the application, or is it when you are being given admission over there? Possibly the supervisor you are assigned to will now give you what to work on. Do you need to come up with your own research proposal alongside the application?
Okay, are you talking with respect to PhD or MSc?
MSc and PhD.
Okay.
Both of them. Yeah.
All right. So as I've said earlier, each program have their requirements. This is very important. We should always learn how to read on how to apply with respect to each of the programs, know what they require. Now, some programs will require you to, in addition to your motivation letter, to provide a research proposal. I know one program under forestry, they always require you to provide a research proposal, but some programs will only require you to provide just a motivation letter. Now, when you come to the university, they will assign you to your supervisor. Your supervisor will now give you a topic, or you start working under any research the supervisor is working on currently. So this depends on the program. So if the program requires you to do that, then you know you have to provide it. If not, you don't need it.
Okay, please, one more question. I will be needing the links you displayed while you're making your presentation, and possibly the PowerPoints the slides you were presenting before us, please.
Don't worry, for as many that will have, will need this, I will send the info first to our WhatsApp group. I will send all the information. Then those that are outside there that needs it, I will also forward it to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
So, okay, any quiz on board?
Victor, speaking.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My question is, so you spoke about relevant post-study work experience, right? So assuming in there between your graduation from school and now, you have some work experience that are not relevant to what you're applying to. Do you need to take it out of your CV, or like how should you approach such situation?
Oh, yeah, that's a nice question. That's a nice question. So that was why I pinpointed that relevant. It's very important. So I forgot to tell you that whenever you are applying for any program at all, when it comes to scholarship, specificity is very, very important. Try as much as possible to arrange your CV to match to the program you are applying for. Now, just you can analyze this yourself. I'm applying for a program, a research program on biochemistry. And it happened that I have over 5 years experience as a Igbo teacher. Can I include my experience as an Igbo teacher to apply for a position under a research position under biochemistry? You see, it doesn't tally. So the more specific you are, the better. That was why I made mention of that. So that was why I made mention of that relevant. So anything you are pushing should be in line with the program you're applying for. Also, the courses I talked about, the courses I talked about, you should take those ones that are also relevant to the program, because this is what they will review. You know, you're not applying alone. They are comparing with other candidates. So they are checking your profile with other candidates. So the profile they saw that is very, very related to what they are doing, that is what they will take. So that's what I'm talking about, the relevancy. So make sure you put things that are relevant to what you're applying for. This will boost your chances of being selected.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So now, talking about taking those things out in terms of being specific, how do you explain or how do you defend those cases you have in between? Because I think I know German schools are big on, you know, explanation. What are you doing between this day and this day, between this year and this year? How do you think that is like an issue generally?
I don't think I got your question very well.
I'm even struggling to get it.
So German schools are big on, you know, consistency. Let's say you have graduated in 2018, right? And you are doing something between 2018 and when you eventually got a job in 2020. So how do you explain the space you have in your CV or the time lapse in terms of 2 years, or this person, what was this person doing after study, and why did this person just get a job now?
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I want you to know one thing. The name of this scholarship tells you everything about what they are looking for. They know that the applicants coming for this scholarship are from developing country. If you understand. So they know that you are from developing country and they know the situation of things in your country. So it's normal that you may finish from school and you will not get a job. It's normal. The only thing they will not go and start checking, okay, you graduated 2018, you've been idle, and you got to 220, you started working. No, they are only concerned about you completing the 2 years working experience. Now, if you finished, for instance, in 2017, and you started working in 2019 to 2022, I think this is up to 2 years. So what they are calculating is that minimum of 2 years. It should not follow the sequence that, okay, you finish 2018, then the next thing you start working 2019, then 2020, 2021, then you now apply. No, they are just concerned about you completing that minimum amount of time or experience needed. So it doesn't follow any chronological order. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So if you have asked your question, you lower your hand. Emmanuel, the other Victor,
hello, good evening.
Any of you can take the stage.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Egent Emmanuel, speaking from Nigeria. My question is, my first degree is up to 10 years, and I've worked for about 10 years or thereabout with state government as an auditor. So, but seeing the criteria for the program, I don't know if I am eligible. Looking at the criteria that claimed. So I don't know if I'm eligible. 10 years field degree and work experience of about 10 years and all that. Then my second question, I don't know. Okay, can I ask my second question at a go? I should wait.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Then my second question is, the program, must you travel to come to Germany, or you like I heard the presenter of the program saying that either you study online or something, or must you be in Germany to run the program? Thank you.
Okay. So from your first question, I think we've tackled that before. These rules, you're not paying any application fee or anything. So I will advise, since you have this experience, to 10 years experience, and you found a program that perfectly suits to what you've been doing or what you study or your interests, I would advise you should apply. Yes, I would advise you should apply. There is no harm in trying. You don't know who will review your this thing, because the actual thing there is that in this DAAD scholarship, I would say that the power is on the university, not even DAAD itself. Most of 90% of you being accepted is the university. So anything the university takes, DAAD have to take it. That is why when the university nominates you for the scholarship, DAAD will not get back to you and ask you, upload all those materials, all those documents you uploaded to the university. What they want to do is to just check from what the university sent to them and what you are sending, if they are actually the same thing. And once they confirm, because Germans like documentation, once they confirm, they will award you the scholarship. So I will advise you apply. It doesn't take anything from you. If you can get other documents, write a powerful motivation letter and also a good CV, apply to a perfect program that is in accordance to what you have. Then for the second part of it, the scholarships are enabled in Germany. You cannot be a DAAD scholar and you'll be in Nigeria and they will be paying your stipend, they will be covering everything for you. No, except in some issues, maybe there is Corona, such that schools can no longer open again, and of which they will also inform you that, okay, you can stay in your country. Like during our own time, the language course is supposed to be done in Germany, but due to Corona, they asked us that we can stay in Nigeria and do it. We now did it online, and they also provided us the assistance we need. And now that everything has relaxed, the new scholars are coming to Germany for their language course. So on a normal, it's to be carried out in Germany.
All right, thank you so much. Sorry, my second is not, my third comment is actually, it's not like a question, but I learned from Dr. Dan that there is a WhatsApp group that is being built up to help and assist people, maybe the website, and also maybe when you need assistance or you're having difficulties in the applications.
Yeah.
I think
the link is on the chat.
Sorry.
The link to the WhatsApp group is on the chat.
Sorry, Doc, which of the chat?
Chat here. There's a chat section here in this Zoom.
Okay.
Or you can contact me later if
okay.
you can find it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So who are the rest? Thank God. Do you still have question? Tobenna, have you asked your question? Thank God, Tobenna. Emma, you can reduce your hand. Bring down your hand, rather. Tobenna, thank God. Do you still have questions? If we don't have any further questions. Okay.
My question have been answered, sir.
Okay. So bring down your
I
hand.
want to specially thank you for this section.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Okay, so I just want to ask a quick question.
Okay.
For the work certificate, are you to get it from your former place of work or where you're presently working, or you do that yourself? You create that one yourself. How do you go about it?
In principle, you are meant to get it from all the places you claim to have worked. You know, you have your CV saying that you've worked from this place from so time, so time. So these Germans, they're also expecting to see certificates for those experiences. So in principle, you are meant to go there, you get the certificates, and it should have a letterhead of the company and also an official stamp of the company with signature. Okay. So that is the right thing to do. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. So who is Techno Mobile Limited Techno CG6? Do you still have question? And Tobenna, if you are still raising your hand.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, what the former place where I worked, I could not access the letter from them, as was explained by one of you there. What will I do? Is there a must that I must get letter showing that I worked in all the places listed on my CV?
No, the thing there is that, they just need 2 years work experience. They just need you to prove 2 years. So the thing, what if you can get from all of them, all those places you listed in your CV, it's good. You know, when we say minimum means that this is the list we can take. So which means that we can have 5, 6, and so on. So it may happen that you have some places you've worked, and even the place you're working currently, you've already worked for 2 years and above. You can just get from the place you're working currently.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's not more that you list everything. But what I'm talking about listing everything is in case it's not up to 2 years.
Okay.
You can have this accumulation to make it up to 2 years.
Okay, it's clear now. Thank you so much.
So, hello. So all these things is when if we're able to look at things objectively and package things, what we need is to sell yourself. It doesn't matter. Somebody got admission recently and his first degree, master's. He graduated 2005. How many years? But he used work experience and all of that. So these things are not cast on iron. There are so much flexibility, but the point is being able to maneuver this thing in your application or write-up, package. Nigeria, we know how to package now. You should know how to package whatever you have. We have people that are self-employed, but if they finish packaging themselves, the person reviewing it, you will not be there to be asked question, and he's not going to go there to look at this thing. I'm not saying you should lie, but the point is being able to communicate what you did very well in a terms that they will appreciate and understand. You know, most of us have this experience, but the problem is how to communicate it. That is what I can say. So do we have more questions?
Hello, good evening.
Tobenna.
I'm with you.
Do you
I want to ask question, but I don't know how to go
Hello,
about
good evening.
it.
So how can we now help in this situation? You don't know how to go about your question.
But can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you very well.
Okay. Good evening, sir. So I'm very grateful for this program. I'm very grateful for it. My question is concerning the course you listed. I saw social science and the post science, but I'm very interested on this thing in psychology. I don't know whether there is this thing scholarship for it. You know, I've been telling you about that psychology. That's what I want to apply for.
Yeah, the
Maybe
simple answer to this question is to go to the site and look at the programs. You know, sometimes these are the things, there are basic things that we can do for ourselves if we have really caught the energy, the motivation. There are in between lines that the presenter may not be able to list because he doesn't have all the time. He took time out of his own busy schedule. All of us, and you're also very busy. But the point we are expecting you is to guide you. Now, we have opened this channel of guidance that when you go, if you have a little challenge, you can come back and say, look, I'm having challenge here, but we cannot. It's not possible to provide every details of what you need to do, how you need to go about it. So I expect that you should go on the site and check out whether the program you want is listed, because we can't be looking for programs for every one of us. No, it won't be possible.
Okay, so I want to ask another question. You know, I graduated to 19, but I've not worked in any firm, though I'm doing my own business. So how do I go about
that? Is the point I'm saying. It depends on what you are doing after, and you also did NYSC, right?
Yeah, I'm currently doing it now.
So those ones we can talk about it off this thing to know how to bring together what you have, you experience, whether you own your own company or you worked for somebody. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'm very grateful, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Do we have any further questions?
I want to add something. Sorry for cutting you.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy that said he wants to, I think he studied sociology or something, and he wants to study another course, right? If I'm correct.
No, he said that he saw social science. He studied, he mentioned like a faculty. Now he's now talking about his department, whether the department is there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This thing is that sometimes you may not see exactly what you studied in school. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So you may not see exactly what you studied in school, but you can see something that is related to that.
Yeah.
Hello.
So, hello?
Sorry.
Hello, I can hear you.
Go on.
Okay. So you may not see exactly what you studied in school, but you may see something that is related to that. So, and another thing is, if you want to deviate from what you studied before, for example, now you studied something like, how will I put it? And you want to do in another field, you want to go in another field. So, okay, I have someone that studied microbiology, and now she wants to study marine pharmacology. So these are where you, like, the research you want to do, you know how to link it up with the one you want to study. And online courses, like all from Coursera, like Emeka said before, you can take some courses from Coursera, edX, FutureLearn. There's so many courses, so that if you're writing your SOP, you can explain there that this is what you want to do your master's in this field. So from there, they can understand. Hello?
Hello?
Hello,
Do you
good
understand
evening.
what I said?
Did you get the explanation? The point is that this thing is not rigid, like it must be. There are different offshoot of your department that forms another department outside there that you can pursue a program in that direction.
Okay, let me just make an example now. Why I talked about reading the description is very important. Just like me, I studied zoology. Now, my program is under phytomedicine. So if I'm telling somebody that I'm into phytomedicine, they will, how come? How were you able to? And phytomedicine is under natural sciences, Faculty of Natural Sciences. My zoology in Nigeria was under Faculty of Biological Sciences. Here we have biological sciences, but I'm under natural sciences. So it's all about you linking it up.
Packaging it.
Yeah, what you want to do. So it's very important to read description of programs.
Yeah.
I must always say this.
Yeah. And when you read
things here is different from what we have back home. So from the description of the program, you will know if this
what
is
they are
right for you.
doing.
Yes, and you can apply. So my brother that is talking about psychology, because you may go there, you may not see MSc psychology. We said, oh, there is no psychology here. No, you understand? Read, when you go to your faculty, hey, read those programs they have there. You might see something that is even talking about the psychology you want to study. And that is a program for you.
I even searched one University of Hanover. When I click on natural sciences, I saw research focus. They have about 9 of them. Some of these departments, they used to list their area of focus, area of research you can do under their department. From there, you can pick one and write something that will relate to what you want to do.
So, Techno Mobile, I think you have a question.
Yes, I wanted to ask some. Good evening.
Okay.
Thank you for this platform that was created for us to learn and also share our view. I want to find out something, because while the presentation was going on, we'll be hearing BSc. What about those of us that are with HND from different perspectives? What is in for us as regards this scholarship?
Okay, yeah. It baffles me that most of us, we're not even talking about the Erasmus Mundus. We just based on the DAD. I also made a presentation on Erasmus. So I think I know people that have gotten Erasmus scholarship, people that did this HND. Yeah. So I think the guy did ND, HND. Sometime in LinkedIn, and also it's very important, if you're looking for scholarship, there are some social groups you need to join. Like LinkedIn is an educative platform. Twitter, you'll be seeing some testimonies from people that might have same problem or same interest with you. So you can always link up with them and know how they did what they did. So this guy actually got Erasmus and he didn't have BSc. Yes. So, but for DAD, I'm not sure. Oh, yes, I will only say what I've seen. So so far, I have not heard or seen anyone that have HND, of which they admitted. It's usually, they usually talk about the bachelors. And you know that our bachelor is almost equivalent to DS. That is why we don't even need any form of transformation or whatever. They just take it like that. So based on what I know, it's always bachelors here, of which if it's possible to carry out some other inquiries to know if HND can actually go in, look at it. But for now, I only know about
so I can also ask in the form of carrying out inquiry. You can write them.
Yes,
You
yes.
can write them.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
ask if, yes,
Exactly.
because, and I believe you me, they will respond to you. So there's no harm in trying. And we did now our scholarship, they also accept HND. So do we have any further questions so that we'll conclude because of time?
What about the age limit? Do they have any age for application?
There's nothing like age here.
No.
Any further question? Or Emeka, we must thank you for this wonderful presentation. And of course, you know, you will continue to help us. We'll keep reaching out to you to provide support and help, because my philosophy, I believe that we rise to lift one another. And there are so many persons to be lifted. I know that it's not easy, schedule, busy, but please, whenever we call, we will appreciate that you continue to extend the hand of fellowship, the hand of help. We thank you so much. It was a detailed presentation, and I believe that all of us will act, because they say that knowledge is power, but no, knowledge is only potential power. The power is in execution, because we can hear all these things, they are knowledge, but if we fail to act, there's no power in it. The power is when we act, when we begin to do what we're supposed to do. Remember that the received no does not mean that you cannot get it. It will let every no fire you to act more until you get that single yes. Before 1 yes, you might get numerous no's, but 1 yes cancels all the no's you have ever seen in life. And I believe that as many that will put their heart in this will receive that yes if you begin to act. Remember, your belief system matters a lot. Some of us, even as you are here, may be telling themselves that they cannot. That is a belief system. Some will already be looking at, I didn't graduate well. It is yes, you may have not graduated well, but the truth of the matter is that your success is not completely dependent on that grade. Your attitude is able to carry you as far as you can, envision in your mind. So wear that attitude, let it rub on you, and you will see how things will turn around. Create the environment. What we are doing is to create that environment that will bring this new belief system, new attitude into you, that will begin to push you to do what you even ordinarily you may not want to do. That is what we are trying to create for you. And I believe that you will key into it to change the old attitude and to begin to walk in this new belief system and the attitude. And we will see all of us there on top. Thank you once again for attending this, and thank you once again, Emeka, and every one of us that made ourselves available. I know that our times are too tight and all of the schedules, but we are here. May God bless each and every one of us. Good night, and see more of you. If you have any question, you can reach out to us. We can extend whatever question you have to you. We are open. We are here to help. And God will bless us. Have a good night, everyone.
Hey, bye, doctor, and bye, everyone.